My name is Gordon. I've been at Calvary for a lot of years. Been through some highs and lows, but I've lived life here. I came in the door looking and found divorce recovery because I needed help. I knew that life had more in store for me than what I was going through. And I sought and found a home. I sought and found a family. I sought and found a pastor that became my friend and who ministered to me and gave to me. I couldn't help but think about and think back to when I came into these doors, my world was upside down. And I thought and I prayed through the scripture, what could I do? Where could I go to find comfort? There's nothing going on here in my life. And so I found the book of Exodus. I found and read the story of Moses. I found it in my life journal, because I journal. And I found the story of Moses as a baby. Now, his childhood was very tedious or tenuous in that he was born into a world where children, boys, weren't allowed. They were put to death. They were not welcomed in that world. I can only imagine his mother, who was there, had her world upside down. Now she had this child that she wanted, probably, and I'm sure cared for and loved so tenderly, was at risk. This child now was perilous and may be killed. What would she do? I can only imagine, and believe me, I can only imagine what that might be like for her, because she wanted her baby to live. She took that baby through this and that and prayer and put that baby in a basket. Now, I'm sure in our brains we think about why would you put a baby in a basket? And in the darkest times, that's how I feel sometimes. I don't see the options anymore. The world is dark. The world has no hope. And the world is a place that takes and doesn't give. Well, guess what? She took that baby and put it in a basket and sent it off. But unbeknownst to her, God had a plan she wasn't aware of. Not unlike my life, not unlike your life. God knows the plan. We don't. God takes care of us in the beginning and the end. And we all know, we probably have heard through the movies, I know I've watched the movie, 10 Commandments. There's an end to it. But at that point in time, to truly appreciate, as a mother, because I've talked to a few mothers out there who have had the child services take their children away. It's horrible, it's painful, and it's fearful. And that's something I would never want to put myself into. God took care of that child. God made a way. I went to this scripture verse, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare, not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And that is the gift of God today. God doesn't come down and give me a bag of money. God does not come down and always heal, my ailments. God gives me the hope for tomorrow, and that's far more precious than anything I could have. Because to live a life without hope is live a life that's dark and perilous and not unlike anything and everything that we could go through today. And I want to urge that if you look to God and you seek Him, He will be there. He doesn't turn away people. He will listen, and He will listen carefully because He loves you. And He put it all on the line. It's all in this book. This is only one paragraph of one piece of this book. And I want to tell you from firsthand experience to somebody who's gone through some very dark times, God has a plan, whether I know it or not, but I believe it. Thank you.